Hello from the Dukascopy TV studio in Geneva. We are having a look to the market and investment perspectives with Mr. Ion-Marc Valahu. He is co-founder of Clarinvest. Welcome to the studio.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So currently the discussion and the negotiations go on with Greece. It always seems to be 50-50. Can a negotiation agreement be achieved or not? Currently it is more positive. How confident are you that a political agreement will be found and the Greek crisis will move to an end?
Well, I think that political agreement takes time, and we've seen it for the last 3 or 4 weeks. They're going to cut it to the wire and may hopefully find a solution. I don't think it's going to be a definite solution. They're going to probably muddle through and kick the can, if you say, down the road a little bit further. But I think that we're getting to the point where something has to give on each side. Because the situation is getting out of control, and Greece, which only represents 1% of GDP, is creating so much pain for the whole of the Eurozone. So some type of decision has to be taken fairly soon. The deadline is around June 30th, and in July there's a few more dates there where we will know by then. Pretty fast.
How prepared do you see the overall Eurozone when it comes to structural changes? What does still need to be done?
Well, I think the construction of the European zone was not done properly, and therefore that's why we're having these kind of problems with small countries taking over all the emotions and all the volatility in the markets. It's missing the federalism where all the countries feel that they belong to the same unity, and the burden sharing is shared on all the countries. Right now we still have countries against each other, and that's the problem. So when you have Greece that might get off easy on this one, right away you will see other countries saying, well, we didn't get such a good deal. We did muddle through. We did have a lot of austerity. So why do they get off easy? And then on top of that, you have the IMF that cannot be lenient on Greece because other countries in the IMF program outside Europe, in the world, will go back to the IMF saying, you know, we want to renegotiate our deal. So situation is political, and they have to get to a solution. The markets will just keep getting volatile as long as we have uncertainty. That's the worst thing that can happen to the market, uncertainty.
Yeah, and you just mentioned it, uncertainty. So actually, what do you propose to your investors in these times of uncertainty?
Well, but our strategies are fairly conservative, so we try to we were able to hedge the portfolios to be more in cash, go into cash, not having any bonds currently, or sovereign bonds in Europe, etc. That's one of the possibilities. But of course, times like these, the market gets really volatile. So unless you're 100% cash, you cannot insulate yourself from the situation. But I think that will create opportunities. If we do get a decision that is somewhat positive, and we do have a definite date where the can is kicked, if it's 6 months down the road, but we do have some certainty, then the markets should recover. And don't forget that the ECB has been going at the QE for the last 3 months. And I think that if the situation gets worse, the ECB could intervene to calm things down. So as long as it's not a Grexit, disorderly Grexit will happen maybe 1 year or 2 years down the road. But if it's not a Grexit disorderly right away, then it should be okay for the markets.
And let's have a look to the United States, to the rate hikes discussion. So what's your point of view here? So when will the interests be raised finally?
Well, that's also another uncertainty that the market doesn't like, and the Fed is on the path to raising rates, but the investors don't know which date, and so we have conflicting economic data in the U.S. We've had at least 3 months of a bit of a slowdown. Q1 was terrible. Q2 looks to be a little bit better. The strong dollar has damaged a little bit of the growth that the U.S. were on. So. To me, I mean, if you look at the numbers, there's no reason why the Fed could not just raise 25 basis points. And as they mentioned, Janet Yellen mentioned last week, he said that it's going to be gradual and data dependent. So that should reassure the markets that even if it's 25 basis points, it's going to be a gradual, it's not going to be every other meeting. So the situation, I think, is getting better in the US, has been getting better. And I don't think 25 basis points interest rates will just slam the market or slow it down, because people always reference the 1930s where the Fed, out of the Great Depression, they raised rates too fast. But I don't think we're in that situation.
Mm-hmm. And let's finally also have a look to the emerging economies. So will they be able to balance out the global insecurity? And what's your point of view, especially to China?
Yes, well, the emerging markets have been double hit, if I can say. One from the Europeans' problems with the Eurozone. So capital is coming back to Europe. They want to move away some chips from the emerging markets. And at the same time, the dollar has been rising very steadily. And although, of course, those emerging markets have been all the capital has moved back again, and the debt is also most of the debt is denominated in dollars, so it's costing more to finance it and to refinance it. And as far as China, we have a situation where something that is not right. I mean, you have a slowing economy. We see it from the numbers, we see it from the PMIs, we see it from the consumption, and you have a stock market that's running over 100% performance year to date, or in a year, 1 year. And so something's not right. You cannot have an economy that's on a slowing path, and the equity market. So, and how often have you seen a stock market going up 100%? I mean, it's very, very rare. So therefore, I think that a little bit of caution is warranted, and that's why we've been taking some chips off and even shorting the Chinese market. It's not to say that it's going to crash, but I think that at those levels, until we see the economy bottom out and recover, it's probably better to be on the side.
Mm-hmm. Ion-Marc Valahu from Clarinvest, thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching. Do make sure to keep clicking back on the Dukascopy TV website for latest updates and exclusive interviews. Have a great day and see you next time.